Behind me, there are my mandolin and my ukulele. That's where I like to keep my stickers. I'm not a sticker person. Like, I I was never like allowed to play with stickers when I was a kid, so now that I'm an adult, I don't know what to do with stickers. And I have to remember, we're looking right here, right here. I should put a little smiley face or something. But hi everybody, I'm here again. I'm super awkward and I'm gonna film because I've got a limited amount of time. I don't have a limited amount of time. I've got all the time in the world. But hi there, and thank you for joining me again. Wow, I sound like a dork. What if I just talk about what I want to talk about right now? And then I'll do like my introduction later. That tends to work when I don't introduce myself. Who the fuck am I kidding? Hi everybody, my name is Holland and I'm here to hang out with you again. So I hope while we're hanging out that you have a good time. I hope that I have a good time. We're just here to have a good time today. As you can see, I'm in a different location this time. I'm inside the house. I live in West Michigan and it has been so hot lately. So we have been trying to stay inside, stay in the air conditioning, but for once today it is finally raining. It has been the hottest, driest summer I swear I remember, but I'm really excited to get some rain. For a second, I was kind of annoyed that my grass was brown. Problems, right? But everybody else's grass was brown too, so it's fine if the yard doesn't look pretty. Nobody's yard looks pretty this summer. That's okay. We'll take it. Anyway, I am here to hang out with you. I might delete that part. But today, I'm here to share with you, this time, 2 finished objects. Once again, like I've said before, I'm a pretty slow crafter, so when I have a finished object, I'm so excited. So I have 2 finished objects for you. I have 1 work in progress, and I've got a future plan that I'm so excited to share with you. Let's get started. There's one of those neighbor kids outside with a scooter, just like, meow, like, keep having fun, buddy. I'm really glad I live in an area where kids can like play outside, but these days kids can't play outside anymore. It sucks. First, I'm going to share with you my 1 work in progress. This is a brand new work in progress and something I really wasn't expecting to get started, especially because I've got other things that I wanted to get to. But you have to follow the dopamine, right? If you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it. And I saw this yarn and I was feeling it. It is so pretty. It's a cotton linen blend, which is something that I was excited to work on anyway, and I finally found one that I really, really liked. You know, when you're like feeling balls of yarn and giving them the squeeze test and the vibe test, nothing was hitting it, but this one hit. I'm a little surprised with my color choice because I don't know, I'm still experimenting with colors and stuff. But this one kind of reminds me of a calico cat with all the colors in it. It's got some browns, it's got some oranges, there's some pinks and whites in there. It just looks like a calico cat. What do you think? I think it's super cute. I love it. I'm using the yarn, what is this? Zoe Spray, and this is in the color Maracas Blush. Excuse me if that's not actually what the color is called. I don't know how to read. But it's a soft cotton linen blend. It's 60% cotton, 40% linen. And right now I'm using US size 8 needles. So these ones are going to be a 5 millimeter. I'm using my chia goos. I love my chia goos. Chow goos? Chia goos? How do you say that? I should know by now. I don't know. I learned that not all chow goos are the lace tip though, and I definitely prefer the lace tip. I picked up this yarn while my partner and I were on vacation in Seattle, Washington. Oh my gosh, I loved it. Seattle is incredible. It's very alternative. I felt pretty safe. The coffee. Oh my god, the coffee scene. I drank so much coffee while I was in Seattle. It was dangerous. We went to Pike's Place Market. And they had 2 yarn stores that we could find. One of them where I got this yarn, I think the store is called So Much Yarn. What a cute little name. And it was a pretty reasonably sized yarn store. I really enjoyed it. That one was the easy one to find. The other yarn store we visited there was called Yarn Dragon. It was a little tougher to find, but I think that's part of the charm about the Pike's Place Market, is that it's kind of a maze. And we're trying to look on our phones like, where is it? And it's like, oh, on the 2nd level. And I'm like, are we not on the 2nd level? Anyway, if you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't been there, I hope you get the chance to go. It's really, really cool. But anyway, I got this Juniper Moon Zoe yarn from So Much Yarn. I made a medium mistake and I only bought 1 ball's worth. I should have bought 2. But I figured like, oh, I'm just doing like a light summery project. All the other yarn is using the suggested needle size. And the suggested needle size is a 3 to 5 or a 3.25 to 3.75. I didn't want a tight stitch because it's supposed to be a summery outfit. Maybe I can wear like a cute little bralette underneath. So since I'm using US size 8s or 5 millimeters, you can see how like open of a gauge, open of a stitch this is. But yeah, that was really cool. While I was also at the yarn store, I didn't have needles. You never know how airports are about needles, and I don't want them to get confiscated, and so I didn't bring them. Also, I didn't bring needles too because the project I was intending on working on, I finished on the drive to Chicago to get onto the airplane to go. So I was like, well, I can't bring this because it's already done. There's no point in bringing a finished object. So while I was in Seattle and didn't have needles, I bought these cute little guys. Oh, they're shorties. I've always wanted to try out shorties and see what they would do. I think they're fun because they're wood. They've got just a beautiful finish. I love the look of the wood grain on them. I think it is just so pretty. Is that focusing? Is that working? Whatever, if it's not. These are Knit Pro. They are 5.5 millimeters, or they're US size 9. And I started the project with the US size 9s, or the 5.5 millimeters, because tension, right? I started this project. It's a V-neck raglan with the eyelets as the increases, or the yarn over increases. So I've got 8 going around, giving me that nice raglan increase. Because it's a V-neck though, it's a lot of back and forth stitching, knits, pearls, you know how this works. And I know sometimes your gauge is different when you're doing flat stockinette versus stockinette in the round. And so I bought these 5.5 millimeters, knowing good and well that once I get home, I'll have my normal 5 millimeters that I can just, when it's time to pick up in the round, I'll be able to switch over when I got home. I actually started knitting a different project. It was just going to be like a little halter top and a wraparound, but I didn't love it. And if you don't love it, don't do it. Kind of like what I said earlier, you gotta follow the dopamine. If you're not feeling it, don't work with it, right? And this is a top that I've wanted for a while anyway, just a simple summer tee. My plans with this is about 1 ball. So it's, yeah, like this is about 1 ball. I've got some left over still. I feel like this will give me maybe another inch or two if I'm lucky. My plan with this is to find a second ball. So if you know anywhere that has this yarn, maybe let me know in the comments section, because I went to my local yarn shop. They didn't have it. I called the next closest local yarn shop, and the lady on the phone put me on hold, which is totally fine. I just love them. She said she couldn't find this yarn, but another coworker had heard of the yarn, so they might have it. I'm just gonna stop by one of these days I get another day off and just do some browsing. It's always fun looking at your local yarn shops, right? But I will see. If my second closest yarn shop doesn't have it, I might have to go online. And I'd prefer not to go online. I'm trying to avoid certain websites. But I'd rather not go online, number one, because I don't want to wait for my product to get here. Number two, I hate paying for shipping, especially since I'm just buying 1 ball of yarn. There's some other things, I don't know. We'll see when we get there. If not, this project might have to go on hold for a little bit. But yeah, this is my work in progress. I really like it. I'm not really following a pattern for this. It's just a simple V-neck raglan. So we'll see where it goes. I didn't really do a swatch test. I didn't really do a gauge swatch because as I was going with the first project that I frogged, I kind of got a gist of what the gauge was going to be. So while this was laying flat, I just measured it, counted about how many stitches per inch there would be, and I'm gonna kind of divide and conquer from there. At this point, it's approximately at a 0, what am I thinking of? A 0 ease. There's no negative ease, there shouldn't be any positive ease. And I'm hoping that because linen and cotton tend to get wider, that'll give me the ease that I'm looking for after I block it and wear it a couple times. Let it really relax. But as of right now, it's got 0 ease. I keep putting it up against myself as if you guys can tell what it's gonna look like on, but because it's on like shorter needles, it's all bunched up, so it just looks like it's super tiny. But that is my summer work in progress. If it comes to a point that I want to write a pattern for it, I think I'm just gonna call it a Seattle summer top, because I got the yarn in Seattle, and clearly I'll have to supplement with something else. We'll see. But that is my work in progress. Oh, I have a little kitty behind me. Can you hear that? He's actually scratching the scratching post for once and not my couch. Oh my gosh. He's climbing up. He might peep over and say hi. We'll see. In the meantime, but yeah, that's my work in progress. He's playing with the camera. How nice. My little cameraman. Please stop. I just love cats. I've got my 2 finished objects I want to share with you guys. I wish you could see. Look at this. Oh god, I'm gonna mess up the whole camera doing this. I'll show you later. Maybe I'll hop up and hang out with us, but I just love cats. Oh, it's all fucked up. I think he's being a menace on purpose. Cats are like that, aren't they? All right. We're reset. I think we're reset. My 2 finished objects I have to share with you today. One of them is a pair of socks. I shared these socks with you guys last time. They were on the needles, but now they are complete. They're not exactly as done as I'd like them to be. I have to do sock surgery. The feet of the sock are way too long. So when I put them on, I've got about an extra inch in the toe. So I'm trying to figure out, do I want to do sock surgery? Do I want to snip it and like Kitchener stitch it back together to shorten the foot of the sock? Or, because these were toe up, do I figure out how to like undo this or snip it and then just it back, frog it back, and then make it the appropriate length from there, just like doing the toe from top down instead of toe up? But we will see. Until I figure that out, they're a finished product. They're done. I'm not touching them anymore. This was using knitted wit yarn. I talked about it last time. I'm gonna be super lame and not talk about it again. You can Google knitted wit if you'd like. It's a really pretty colorway. I really liked it better though when it was in the skein, when it was all wound up in the hank and you could see the different areas where they had the green dye, the red dye, the yellow dye in between. The hank was gorgeous. I wonder if I can figure out how to put a picture in. Can I put a picture in? Pretend there's a picture right here. The hank was gorgeous. It was beautiful. And I knitted it up and learned that it was very, very variegated. And that's okay. It's a learning process. I'm gonna love these socks when I get the sock surgery completed. The other thing about these socks, because I'm not a seasoned sock knitter, this part here is so stinking tight. It cannot go straight up my leg. It kind of bunches around the ankle. And I'm okay with that too, because that kind of gives you a little leg warmer, cozy vibe. It's not supposed to be tight and fitted. It's gonna be bunched up and cozy. Yeah, that's totally what I was going for. But anyway, that's my finished object. I pretty much stockinette stitched the whole entire leg here. In the future, if I make another pair of long socks, I'm gonna make sure to add some increases to accommodate for your calf. And then my bind off looks like crumbly bacon right now. I did a nice little Italian bind off. I think I still have some things to learn. I still have some tension to figure out with these Italian bind offs, but that's okay. It's part of the process. It's also scrumply too, because when I put it on, it stretched it out, and you know how stretching out does to your stuff. It is what it is. It's technically my second pair of knitted socks, and it's perfectly fine. It's a learning experience, and that's part of the fun of knitting. But yeah, those are my socks. Look how long this looks. It's like as long as my like elbow. Holy cow. That's too long. That's obscene. Sock surgery in the future. So that was my one finished object. Does a pair of socks count as two finished objects, or is it just one? Anyway, counts as one pair of a finished product. The other thing I have, my other finished project I absolutely love, this is a hat. I knitted a hat, very cute summer hat. Once again, because I don't know how to follow a pattern, I did not follow a pattern for this. Oh, I like it like that better. Just a little bit of like a cowboy rim. What if it was like totally yeehawed out? I'm not gonna yeehaw this one. I want it to be a summer hat, not a cowboy hat. This is using the yarn Rah Rah Raffia from Wool and the Gang. I think it's Wool and the Gang. It's basically made out of wood pulp paper. This Rah Rah Raffia was, how do I say this politely? There was a learning curve to using it. It was pretty stiff. It was pretty unforgiving. I heard that linen is a pretty unforgiving yarn that's really hard on your fingers. This has no give to it. Obviously, it's paper. Where would it give? It would rip before it gives. I crocheted this using size 6.5 hook. I love my Susan Bates hooks. I can go get it. I'll be right back. Size 4. I crocheted this using my Susan Bates size 4mm hook. I love this hook. It is such a fun size. It's quick, it's whippy, makes a good tight crochet. I didn't really follow a pattern with this one either. I found online there was a quick schematic about how to make these 6-petal flowers. So I kind of deduced, I don't know, figured out how to make the 5-petal flowers. So I made a number of flowers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Why am I even counting? I'm not even gonna count this. I made a bunch of 5 and 6-petal flowers, and I kind of organized them the same way. If you look at a soccer ball, it's got the hexagons and the pentagons on it to create that shape. So I used like a soccer ball as my inspiration for these flowers. That gave me a really nice dome for the head. And then I went on Pinterest and looked up hat brims, crochet hat patterns to see what kind of like ratio I'm looking at to get this nice circle with increases and stuff. I didn't want it to be obvious increases, so the increases are very staggered throughout, but every row has about 12 different increases to it. For the band and also the edge of the hat, I was running out of raffia yarn, so I needed to supplement with something. I used some 2mm, oh, what's that called? Not tweed. Juke. I used some 2mm juke to do the edging, and under the juke is really great because there is a wire. I just went to like Menards or something. I picked up a wire. I should have got a thicker gauge wire to give it a more sturdy because look at that. It bends. It holds its shape, but it bends. So finished project number 2. So excited. It's such a cute little summer hat. You get so many compliments on it. I just love it. If I ever figure out how to write patterns, I might write a pattern about this one too. Very cute, very nice. I love it. What else about this hat? It's a great hat. I still have ends to weave in. I think the bane of most creators' existence is weaving in the ends. It's just boring. I don't want to do it. You have to be in the mood for it. Following the dopamine. I'm not in the mood for it, so they're going to stay there. The one thing that stinks about not weaving in the ends, though, is I get these little guys that like to hang like where I can see it, and it's annoying. Whatever, that's fine. I'll get to it one day, just not today. Kind of like how I want to do sock surgery on my socks because the foot is way too long. I want to not redo any part of this hat, but I want to undo this row of jute and add some extra wire into it. So that way it can have more resilience. It can have more hold. It can be more solid. Because right now it's just like floppy. Floppy's fine, but I don't love that it just holds every little kink and curve you put into it. But that is my finished project number 2. My flower petal summer sun hat. I just love it. It's so cute. For my future projects I have on the books, I've got some really, really great yarn. Over Christmas in 2024, my partner and I went to Belgium for a couple days, and we picked out, well, It's gorgeous. It's 100% merino. It's hand dyed. It's not quite as variegated as the sock yarn is, so I'm hoping when it gets knitted up it'll be more spotty and splotchy versus little tiny micro stripes everywhere. But look how pretty that is. Isn't that just wonderful? It's 100% merino, super easy, super simple. You can't complain about that. And I got it from Julia's yarn shop. Isn't that great? Oh, they had an awesome selection. I loved everything they had between your hand dyed and your normal stuff that you can buy at any old store. Just beautiful. While I was also in Julia's, I picked up a bunch of mohair. And oh my gosh, is Europe doing the yarn scene right? It was like $10 a ball for all this mohair. Granted, there's a currency exchange happening. You can't get anything like this in America for less than like 20, I swear. So I got 5. At Julia's yarn shop, once again, I seem to have this problem where I just don't get enough yarn. I picked up 5 of these. They are, how long is this? 145 meters long at 50 grams each. And these are 400 meters at 100 grams each. And I want to make a sweater. I figured too, holding them together, holding the mohair and the worsted weight together would not only thicken it a little bit, so you got more of a chunky sweater versus a thin, lightweight sweater. I didn't buy enough yarn because I only bought these 2 skeins worth. So that was dumb on my part. I should have bought way more because yarn in Europe is super affordable. I had room in my suitcase, and it's not like this weighs a lot. I could have taken it back home without having to pay the extra baggage fee. Whatever, you live and learn. So I didn't buy quite enough for a sweater quantity. So one thing I'm doing at my local yarn shop is supplementing. I supplemented with this. I think technically it's a sock yarn, so it's a little bit lighter of a weight. Is this DK? Or is this worsted? I think technically this is DK. But my local yarn shop is smaller, so it doesn't have quite a huge selection. So I was trying to match the 100% merino. I think this is a sock yarn, so there is a bit of nylon in it. What I'm going to do with this is do some helical knitting. So one row is gonna be this, one row is gonna be this. And hopefully that supplements the kitties. Hopefully that supplements the yarn I need so I can actually have the sweater quantity. Worst case scenario, I have a small sweater. That's fine. What do? You live and learn. I'm planning on knitting this Belgian sweater with these US size 8 needles, and really great because I will probably use these US size 9 needles, these 5.5 millimeters, to do the flat portion of it, the flat stockinette. I plan on making it another V-neck, hoping to save some yarn there by having an open V-neck instead of a tight crew neck. I'm more of a V-neck person anyway. I don't like feeling like I'm being strangled by my garments. So I'll probably knit the flat portion with these 5.5 millimeters, and then when I get to it in the round portion, I will use these 5 millimeters. But yeah, that is my future plan. Thank you. Ooh, I have one acquisition I'd like to share with you also. This is another one when we were in Seattle, and it is the second yarn shop that I had kind of a tough time finding, but it was so worth the hunt. It was so worth exploring the Pike's Place market so I could find this yarn shop. This is from yarn dragon, and that's the name of it. Kuan Yin? Forgive me for probably mutilating that. But this yarn is a worsted weight. It is 100% superwash merino, and it's hand-dyed. I was just starting to get a little bit anxiety. Do you ever get that when you have so many options? So you start getting like anxiety about which one you're gonna get, because I don't want to get more than one. I'm just visiting. Maybe that's my problem too. Maybe I should just buy enough. But anyway, I was starting to get decision fatigue about which yarn I wanted, and this gorgeous red just kept talking to me. It kept jumping out at me. So I picked it. One thing I really love about this gorgeous red hand-dyed yarn is that you can see that there's like a slight variation in the color there. You can tell it's hand-dyed. It's not 100% perfect straight up red. And I love that variation in it. In the future, when I'm yarn shopping, I think when I see variegated yarns, I'm going to aim for colors that are super similar to each other versus colors that are super dissimilar to each other. Up close, it's beautiful. From farther back, it's fine. It's great. It's knitting. Love it. But that is my latest acquisition. This beautiful hand-dyed worsted weight yarn from Yarn Dragon in Seattle, Washington. I would love to go back. I can't wait to go back. One day I'm gonna go back. But thank you for tuning in to my knitting podcast again. It was really great hanging out with you, and I hope I can see you again very soon. So thank you. Bye.